Welcome to the Asynchronous JS crash course. So this is the crash course which you should take after my DOM crash course. So this is a one-part series where we will quickly going to learn about the three ways asynchronous JavaScript works, which is by callback, promises, and async await. So what is asynchronous programming? So asynchronous promise is in JavaScript is something in which the program doesn't wait until execution of something is going on. Suppose JavaScript is a single threaded language. So what happens if some long thing is going on, such as the fetching some data from the API, the other part should not stop, it should goes on, but the result of it, if it comes back and it is required, then it will be used there. So this way we can do asynchronous programming in JavaScript. So let's quickly start our program. So what we are going to do, we are going to learn in this awesome JS bin where I had opened this JavaScript and output, because we need this in this project. So what I'm going to do, see, I have a post which is an array of object which have this title of two objects, which one is having a title of JS basic and a summary, and another one is having a title of DOM basic and a summary. So after that, let's have a function of get posts, and here we'll have set timeout. Why? Because we want to mimic the call to a API endpoint to fetch some data. So this going to API endpoint to fetch some data is the thing which forms the basics of every modern application. So we are doing that. So set timeout, we are doing arrow function. Then after that, inside this we will write everything, and to mimic this we have to do a 1000 is what it will run after, whatever is inside it, it will run after 1000 milliseconds or 1 second. So let us do that. We are having a let output equal to an empty string. Then after that, posts the array post dot for each. We are using the for each, then the post, single post, or anything you can take. Here what we are going to do, we are going to have the output which we have just declared plus equal to, means initially it will be empty string, and whatever the whole loop it will add to it. So then after that, inside it I am giving li, and then post dot title, then li, and then the next part, which is summary. I'm going to show it in the paragraph. Post dot summary, and then the paragraph is closed. After that, document dot body dot inner html equal to output. So like this I will set it to output. Then after that, what I am going to have, I am going to have another function which is create post. It will take a parameter of post, and then again set timeout we are going to do to mimic a delay or a API call. So again this, then, but it will run not after 1 second, it will run after 2 seconds. The above one is running after 1 second, this one is running after 2 seconds, so this one will take more time. So after that, post posts dot push, we are pushing a new item to it, post. Now it's time to call get posts. See, it's run automatic, so it is telling, it is already giving us this and showing us the result. So after that, create post, and here we are passing a post. So just like this we will be passing. Let this be async basic. This post is the basic of async async. Now it is running, and see, this is not been shown. So why this is not been shown? So the problem is that this gets run first after 1000 milliseconds. So first we call this gets run, and this is also called, and there is not much difference in it. But when this is called after 1000 milliseconds or 1 second, we have only this, we don't have this. So this is the issue, that this runs after some time, so the DOM is already painted by that time, and so we are not able to get it. So to solve this issue, we use callback in our code. So how to use the callback? So the same thing we are going to change with the help of callback. So let me do callback. So we are using another parameter known as callback here. After that, callback, this we are calling the function callback. We will be removing this, and what we are going to do, we are going to call get post from here. So let's see what happened, and this time it works. So what happens, so this push, then only after this result is get, we will be calling the callback, which is nothing but this function which gets what, which is this, and it will show everything. So this is how we use the callback, and our problem gets solved, that it have to wait a sort of wait for it, and then only to get that. So this is one way of asynchronous programming. Another way of asynchronous programming is for promises. So promises were introduced in ES6 here, and it is a better version of this callback. So here we don't have any argument to wrap like callback and all, but the code is much better. So we will see why it is much more better. So the get post is the same thing, but here what will happen, we will wrap everything with a promise. So this callback is not there anymore, this is not there anymore, and we will not call it like this also. So what we are going to do, return a new promise, and then resolve reject, and this, and as I told, we will be putting everything inside it. So like this, okay. So we are putting everything inside this, and then a little bit of changes need to be done. So the thing is that a promise always either resolve or reject, so we want to emulate that. So what we are going to do, we are going to have that been passed as a resolve from now on. So let's have a variable num equal to 5, and we are using ternary operator. Num is greater than 4, num is greater than 4, so we will do the resolve, or if it is not, then we will do the reject, and which is error, something is wrong. So how this works, so what will happen here, so it will always send a resolve. So, and when we send a resolve, we have to catch it with dot then, and when it sends this, then only we are going to run this get posts, and let it run, and we are getting the same result back, and so means everything is right. So what is with this reject part? Let me show you that also. So this we are going to get in a catch block, and we are going to get an error, and what we are going to do, document dot body dot inner html. We can do anything with it. We can console.log also, but I don't want to console.log it. Most of the example you will see in the internet, people console.log it, but I am not going to use console.log. So right now it will not work because every time resolve is being sent. So let us change it, and what we are going to do, we are going to make it 4. So by making it 4, what will happen? 4 is greater than 4. No, it is not greater than, so it will not be, so this thing will run, and it will not be cached here, it will be cached here. Dot then will run, dot catch will run, and this will be shown. So this is the additional thing which is given to us by promises. So actually I want this code, I want to quickly show another thing before using this code again. So what I want to show, there is another way known as promise.all. so it is actually chaining of promise. So it will show result only when once all the promises are done, although all of them can run in the background at once, it doesn't matter. So that is the power of asynchronous programming. We can do a fetch to tens of APIs and get tens of result. Fetch, we are going to see fetch soon, but we can do a promise. We can learn like this, promise to a 10 API, and all 10 can run simultaneously, like Java multi-thread. If you know Java, it has a multi-threading, so like that. And once everything is resolved, then only, because everything is dependent on everything else, then only you will get the result. So let us do a example of promise.all. so let me have a lot of promises. Const promise 1 equal to promise dot, we can directly resolve also. Let do eat const promise 2 equal to, we can do again like this, new promise resolve dot resolve comma reject, and then set time out resolve comma 3000 comma code. Yeah, let me copy this and form a promise number 3. It will be sleep. Let me copy this, and this will be 4, and 3000 millisecond, this is 2 millisecond, and this will be repeat. So we have one of the popular phrases, eat, code, sleep, repeat, which we are going to do. So we want everything to be finished. So what we are going to do, we are going to do promise dot all. See, in this what will happen, this two will take a lot of time. This will take 3 seconds, this will take 2 seconds, and this will complete quickly, but we want one to happen after the another. So we will give this promise dot all, and then is it, as a parameter takes an array. So here we will give promise 1 comma promise 2 comma promise 3 comma promise 4. Then after that it will have the done. Then we get the values, and then we can give this to document dot body dot inner html. Let me make it a bit big because I don't want that much space. Equal to dollar values. Okay, yeah, it is coming. And eat, code, sleep, repeat. So it took some time because it takes this highest time, this 3000 millisecond or 3 second, and it after that only it shows the result. But this both starts at the same time, but this both runs like multi-threaded thing, but it will give the result only when all the promises will be done. So next what we are going to do, we are going to learn about async await. So for Async Await, we are going back to this example which we have created for promises. So Async Await under the hood is like promise only, and it was added to the language in ES after ES6 recently only, and but it is supported by almost all browser, and it's a better way to write promises. Here what we make a function as async, and whatever we want to await means after it the whole logic should await for that. Await doesn't mean that the programming stops. That is not about asynchronous programming, but we will soon see what it is. So uh, it doesn't actually await like this, but the final result will come only after this one is complete. So we are going to use this only, this promise thing only here, and the thing which is different here is let me get rid of both of this. Okay, and there is nothing like dot then or dot catch. So I'm going to have another function in it, and let me cut it and let me paste it here. Okay, so I will have this here, and after this I can put the get post. Okay, so but I want this get post to sort of run only after this is been done. So what I am going to do here, I have to make the parent function as async, and then this one I will do a await. Okay, nothing will run because everything is inside this. So you might have known we have to do in it. And so the problem is that this num is equal to 4, so it is always sending that reject. So as I told that actually under the hood it is promise only, but here I have to send a 5. So now this will run and this will run well. So now what we are going to do, we are going to see a better example with async await, because most of the time you are going to use async await with something like fetch to get some data from a real API endpoint. So let me delete everything here, and we are going to see a very good async await example with fetch API. So let me have a function fetch users, and so we are going to make it async because this is an async example. And what we are going to do, we are going to await. So fetch API, we can directly call any API endpoint with this fetch. So what we are going to call, we are going to call JSON placeholder, this awesome free API endpoint or fake online REST API. So what we are going to do, there are many things here. So one of the common one is this users. So if you had hit this endpoint users, you will get this back. So we are going to hit this endpoint. So let me copy it and use it, users. So we have to use await here. There is a small problem with fetch API. So earlier we used to use many other third-party tools. So which, if we do it, means if we hit an API endpoint, we'll directly get the result here. But with fetch API, it is not like that. So we will need one small extra space. But the benefit is that we don't have to import any third-party libraries for this. We can do it in vanilla JavaScript only. So it is very fast because it is inbuilt in the browser. So res.json we will do. This is a kind of boilerplate code which we have to give 2-time await, and then after that we'll get the result. If I do a console.log of data, yeah, and what I'm going to do, document, not document, I'm going to do not fetch user, is this fetch users. I should spell it right, fetch users. So I'm console logging the data, so it will not come here, it will come here. But why? Okay, this way we have to run. So I'm running it and I'm getting all the data of the users back, but I don't like it in console for at least for this series. So let me output it, because we actually got the thing which we want to get back, but let us get the output back instead of this hard 2 line of code. Let output equal to empty string, again like that. We have already done that. So data dot for each item output plus equal to the item dot name, be bold, making it bold. The next one will be paragraph dollar item dot email, and we will end. Yeah, and then we're just going to show it, document dot for body dot inner html equal to output, and it should come. Again it is not coming, means I have made some problem and I know what issue I have made. So it should end here, and now what, why is this coming? Yeah, this is coming for this. Yeah, and here we are getting everything. So I'm only using the name and the email. There are many other fields and it is showing like this. So this ends our Async Await crash course. Hope you have learned it in a quick and easy way. Thank you. See you soon.